I don't want to. Thanks. I'm not hungry. Zero.
Yes, there was an earthquake in Italy, and it was 3.2, followed by a 3.1 in France, and they have removed, not down, as far, hold on, downgraded now? Is that the downgrade? Hold on. It must have removed over a half magnitude if this is the downgrade. Hold on. 7. Yeah, they downgraded it by over a half magnitude. Okay, this 3.2 struck in Italy, and then 20 minutes later, this 3.1 struck in France. Now, we should probably go look it up. I wonder what's there. Why would they do such a big downgrade? Hold on. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. There might not be anything. Wiring minds? I'd like to know. I suppose I'd like to know, too. Okay. So let's get the coordinates. Here we go. Coordinates for the 2.5 downgrade. And put it in on cyclical F. And see what's here. Okay. Looks like farm fields, trees. Okay, not anything of interest. Nothing of any significance is pictured. Ancient chapel? Oh wow, that's interesting. Let's go look at it. Anything else nearby? What are these? What is got going on here? What's with the forest? Alright, well it doesn't look like there's any pumping operations nearby. It doesn't look like there's any volcanoes or volcanic fields nearby. Not very much nearby. Oh, look, a 3.3 on April 5th, 2015 nearby previously. Yeah, nothing there of any significance. What is going on here? Why did the earthquake strike here? Obviously, it's coming up out of Italy, but what makes this area prone? What makes this spot prone? Maybe there is something interesting nearby. I guess I need to do a little inspecting before I speak. Well, you know what? It's just real time to look up. This is the way you do it. You have to check manually and see if there's anything nearby. I know France does oil extraction and fracking and those kind of things, but their operations look entirely different. So, you know, I mean, it's hard to tell, like, what could be going on. Don't know. Don't know. I don't see anything of any significance nearby. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's not something that's leading to the cause of this. Let's back it out and just look where it is on the edge of the crater. Got anything? Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, we have to look at a satellite view. We turn off the borders and labels. Let's turn off my place marks too. There we go. So now looking at it, you'll be able to see a wavy line of mountain ranges going across Europe up to the northwest. And of course, you'll see the Alps down to the east-southeast. In between there, we've got a bend in the edge of the European craton. Just look at it there. See how it kind of makes an arcing shape and a bend? We see this all over. Look over in Eastern Europe. Look at the mountain ranges here. See how it looks like a giant backwards S? Right, that's the mountain ranges, but that's also the edge of the plate. We have an S-shaped bend over here in the United States, but it's laid out sideways, or at least east to west, instead of north to south. And it's right here in the New Madrid seismic zone. Turn on our board labels really quick. And there's Missouri. Okay, that wavy shaped bend in the plate here, and it's like an S shape, but it's turned sideways, and it goes across the southern states and then up the east coast, where you get more of the same. So going back over to Europe one more time. Looking at it there, it's kind of falling on the interior edge of the plate. There's also something else we need to take into account, which is wonderful CERN. That's right, CERN. Where exactly? Where is Geneva? It's marked. I should have it marked. Where are my place marks? I should have CERN marked on here. Why don't they CERN marked on here? Down in Geneva, down at the center, and again, it goes underneath here. Now you don't see it, but it's laid out in a 16-mile circle around here. Where is the entrance? So, you know what? Let's just type it in. Slightly off. There we go. Here's the CERN. CERN LHC 0.8, 0.7. There's the ring right there. Okay, 0.4, 0.5. Goes all the way out to here. So, seeing where that is, and our earthquake. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Earthquake is exactly due north of CERN. Wow. I need to look it up. Okay, let's measure from the center of the building. Let's measure from where, I guess, CERN. Why does it have that as CERN? That's funny. Where's the building? Where's the circular CERN building? Here it is. Here it is. Okay, let's measure from the center of the circular CERN building. Come here, kitty. Come here. Okay, so going from there, center of the CERN building, north, that is one step off from you, so it's slightly off. Slightly, I mean, it's almost exactly. Maybe as the curvature of the Earth might be defined, it is exactly due by 80 miles. Really? 80.5 miles from the center, or in kilometers, 129.65 kilometers. Basically 130 kilometers. All right, I don't know what that means. It just means they downgraded the earthquake. It's like, you know, I get suspect. I get a little bit suspicious when I see them downgrade earthquakes and due north of sun. All right, guys, word up, much love. I'll be back in a little while. See you back in 30 minutes. Peace out.
clean the kitchen at all? Clean up the kitchen? No, I thought you wanted to go out to eat. No, I thought you wanted to get a bite to eat. Did you fold the laundry? You did not fold it? Did you fold it?
My what?
Did you fold the laundry?
Of course. I mean, for the rest of you.
Yeah, but it's still wet.
Yeah, you're fucking low.
You gotta dry it. You can work this
Huh?
hard. I go back down and dry it. It's good. At 11. 11. Really, it's the
Huh?
it's like the kitchen.
So a sinkhole will open up, it'll swallow a house, a car, basically anything that's standing in its way.
And sinkholes can form underwater too. Here, a stand of trees vanishes into the Louisiana bayou. Scientists estimate that 20% of the U.S. is susceptible to sinkholes. But there's one state that's become notorious for them, Florida. Between 2006 and 2010, Florida residents filed an average of nearly 17 sinkhole insurance claims per day, resulting in $1.4 billion in damages.
Florida has so many sinkholes because it has a very unique geology. The bedrock that underlies Florida is limestone, buried by very thick sequences of sand and clay. The limestone's 20, 30 million years old, so it's had a long time to sit there and dissolve and create quite large cavities.
In 2010, a colossal 300-foot wide sinkhole in Guatemala swallowed a 3-story factory, taking the lives of 15 people.
The sinkhole in Guatemala was so big that it just was all blocks of buildings, neighborhoods, and it was due to the poor corroded sewage system that was underneath the ground. And what happened was people felt shaking and they actually thought it was an earthquake, but it was the sinkhole opening up.
So what would you do if you were driving and your car was swallowed by a sinkhole? Time to decide. The best option? C. Get out of your car, but do it carefully.
If you're driving and your car gets swallowed by a sinkhole, the best thing to do is get out as soon as you can. If you're able to leave that vehicle, you want to, because the sinkhole may still be forming and swallow your car further. You may not be able to get out your car door. You may have to climb out a window, climb out your trunk, but get out any way you can. If a sinkhole opens up, it could be a cause of a water break or a sewage break. There is going to be water at the bottom, so there's a good chance that that water will be contaminated, and you definitely don't want to be in contact with that water because you don't know what's in it.
As for the wrong answers, they become the right things to do if you can't climb out.
If you can't get out of your car, you want to hold still as much as you can because that sinkhole is still active and it probably is still moving. So you moving in the car is not going to help matters. If you're stuck, stay in the car, try to call 911. If you're not getting a signal, honk your horn, roll your windows up so that you can save as much oxygen as possible. You don't want to have any of the dirt come in, water. You want to try to, keep as much of that out so that you can get rescued.
If you are driving and your car gets swallowed in a treacherous sinkhole, get out of your car and cautiously climb to safety. If you can't get out, call 911, roll up your windows, and honk your horn. Follow these tips, and if you're lucky, you won't end up 6 feet under.
Wow. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie, my heart's racing.
Disaster on a snowy highway leaves you in ice-cold torment.
Stuck out here. Boy, let's get out.
And a wall of mud will have you running for your life.
The bathroom. When things go wrong here, you remember. Quilted Northern is designed to work so well you can forget your bathroom trips. But Sir Froggy can never forget. I used to be a prince, but no princess would kiss me now.
In 12 feet, come to a complete stop. Recalculating. In 1 mile, arrive at a place where you make your own lane, only to discover it has traffic jams too. Your all-new Compass.
More qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low mileage lease on the all-new 2017 Jeep Compass for $199 a month.
Today's Best Western is more rewarding than ever. Rewards members get our best rates every day.
You okay?
And with rewards points that never expire.
You okay?
You get more free nights at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. gift cards, and instant rewards. Now get a $10 gift card with every night you stay. Let's go.
Real value.
Rewarded. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Every team trains hard.
You see a
Every team prepares to win.
The what?
Oh, here's
When U.S. Army soldiers take the field,
Should have somebody open that rubber. I would've put it up.
don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team. Don't miss the Super Tuesday sale at Joseph A. Bank. Up to 70% off almost everything in the store. All traveler sport coats $149, executive suits $179, and all dress shirts, including best-selling Traveler, just $39. Plus, make an extra 50% off fitness items only at Joseph A. Bank.
You don't let anything keep you sidelined. That's why you drink Ensure with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. For the strength and energy to get back to doing what you love. Ensure. Always be you.
When my doctor told me I have age-related macular degeneration, AMD, he told me to look at this grid every day. And we came up with a plan to help reduce my risk of progression, including Preservision AREDS 2. My doctor said Preservision AREDS 2 has the exact nutrient formula the National Eye Institute recommends to help reduce the risk of progression of moderate to advanced AMD after 15 years of clinical studies. Preservision AREDS 2, because my eyes are everything.
Do you always put cheese and grooves in your sandwich?
Of course. Chips. Chips plus sandwich equals the perfect lunch.
Oh, don't forget the pickle. It's kind of a big deal.
Cheese and grooves. Chips made with 100% real cheese. Dang right, it's a chip.
A long drive home can turn ugly when a snowstorm threatens to stop you in your tracks. The snow gets deeper. As you plow ahead, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You don't make it. Now you're stuck.
I can barely see it without I have to wipe the window.
It might surprise you that this situation can be deadly.
Literally, the snow is right at the top of the door and near the window. It's like I'm in a
Where
cave.
did I put my keys? Hold on.
What would you do
I got 'em.
if you
I got
were
'em.
stranded in the snow?
Thanks.
Would you A, abandon your vehicle and go find help? B, stay put and crack the windows open so you won't suffocate? Or C, keep the engine running so rescuers can locate you? Consider your options. You could be in serious danger.
As you venture out and the conditions are snowy, you have to be aware of situations that may leave you stranded, whether it's driving off a highway or turning onto a rural road that has a lot of snowpack on it.
Driving in ice and snow is very dangerous. It's easy to lose control when you panic and you find yourself in a situation where it can lead to a crash.
Vehicles are built to insulate themselves from a sound standpoint. There isn't insulation like you have in your home in a vehicle to really protect it and create a cocoon for yourself.
That's 75 north, mile 240, be my gravestone because my batteries are dying.
Once your vehicle runs out of gas, it literally becomes a freezing cold tin can, which offers very little insulation from the cold temperatures.
We've been in here for like 20 minutes and I can still see my breath.
Like 12 degrees outside.
A common mistake when stuck in snow for an extended period of time is getting outside and trying to dig yourself out. Now you're freezing and is absolutely a risk for hypothermia.
Stranded in snow, you have a tough choice.
They don't get me in enough time. My car could be covered completely in snow. I could be barricaded under here. I don't know if I know what will happen.
What would you do if you were stuck in your car in a snowstorm? Your best bet? B. Crack the windows open. That's because you'll need to intermittently run the car for heat, and that creates a deadly byproduct, carbon monoxide.
Assuming that your vehicle is still in running condition and you still have ample fuel, you're going to want to start the engine approximately every 20 to 30 minutes to get the heater going again.
One of the things you have to be concerned about if you have your vehicle and you're running the engine is the buildup of carbon monoxide. And you wouldn't normally notice this in the vehicle as you drive down the highway because it's exhausted out the tailpipe. But once you're stopped and your tailpipe either potentially gets clogged or covered because of the snow, it could start to seep through the exhaust system in the vehicle and enter the vehicle itself. It has no odor and is very dangerous because breathing an increased amount of carbon monoxide is deadly.
You'll feel sleepy, you'll start to feel dizzy, and you also will start vomiting. But that will be a short period before you will lose consciousness.
Nearly 150 people die in the U.S. every year due to accidental carbon monoxide poisoning in their cars.
It's very important to crack your windows on the vehicle periodically, not too much because it's extremely cold outside, but also to periodically get out and make sure that your tailpipe is not covered and dig away the snow from around your tailpipe if you're continuing to run the vehicle as a source of heat.
So if you've cracked the windows open, why shouldn't you just keep the car running?
So I got a little less than a quarter of a tank. And that's keeping me warm at this moment.
It's very difficult to make that decision sometimes. Do I keep the car running? Do I not, based on the amount of fuel I have? So very important to maintain as full as possible fuel tank.
As for abandoning your car to go get help,
some of the dangers of walking away from your car are you are separating yourself from a large object that's easier to spot. In addition, you are exposing yourself to the elements. So you can suffer from hypothermia, you can become disoriented or lost even in an urban area.
I've been stuck out here for 10 hours. I have some fights that I had on Saturday. Luckily, they were still in the car, so I have something to eat.
Caught in nearly 2 feet of snow near Chicago, this driver was lucky to eventually be rescued. But you can't rely on luck. Keep your tank full in winter months, and if you get stranded, stay with your vehicle. Crack the windows open, and turn on the car every 20 to 30 minutes to run the heater.
Oh my gosh.
Keep warm, and you should survive this wintertime horror. Torrential rains can trigger a catastrophe, landslides, a threat you are about to witness firsthand. Right before your eyes, the earth gives way.
Oh, it's coming down the hill here.
Run. Can you escape, or will you be buried alive?
Everyone has got a dream. You know what I mean?
Hey, is this our turn? Wait, our turn?
Yeah, we go left right here.
Great adventures are still out there. We'll find them in our Subaru Outback.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Get 0% APR financing for 63 months on all new 2017 Subaru Outback models, now through August 31st.
Nick was born to move. Not necessarily after 3 toddlers who found this energy. The lower back pain won't stop him from keeping up. Because at the Dr. Scholl's kiosk, he got a recommendation for our best custom-fit orthotic to relieve his foot, knee, and lower back pain from being on his feet, by reducing shock and stress on his body at every step. So look out, world. Dad's taking charge. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
Honey, can we do this tomorrow?
Can we do this tomorrow?
If you have heart failure symptoms, your risk of hospitalization could increase, making tomorrow uncertain. But Entresto is a medicine that was proven the largest heart failure study ever to help more people stay alive and out of the hospital than a leading heart failure medicine. Women who are pregnant must not take Entresto. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high potassium in your blood. Tomorrow.
We can do this again, Grandpa.
Well, how about tomorrow? Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make tomorrow possible.
I just want to find a used car without getting ripped off. Start at thenewcarfax.com. Show me used trucks with one owner. Pretty cool. Show me the Carfax. Start your used car search at theallnewcarfax.com.
At Panera, a salad is so much more than one thing. More than one flavor, or texture, or color. A good, clean salad is so much more than green. And with Panera Catering, more for your event. Panera, food as it should be.
It's hard to resist great taste. It has to be Heinz. The average family's new but old home. It stood up to 2 rookies, a problem child named Rufus, and 3 little angels. Bear Premium Plus Ultra, the #1.
Bug bites, itchy rash. Stop your scratching.
Relief starts now. Gold Bond Rapid Relief. 2-inch fighting medicines instantly relieve bug bites and all kinds of summer itches, so you can get back to fun. Gold Bond Relief starts now.
Allergy sufferers, a word to the wise. If symptoms at night,
Yo, hey everybody. Jumping on here real quick before we get on the stream. There's a few changes tonight, so in case you don't know, we just be prepared that it might get a little bit hairy in the chat room. It might. I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. We're going to be talking about earthquakes, obviously, tonight. So, but just be prepared, okay? I mean, look, you know YouTube chat. You know how it goes on the other chat rooms. So I think it's going to go that way here for a little while. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So, word up. Much love. We'll be on in a few minutes live. Word up.
Mass movements of Earth are
All the chat rooms. Any of the chat rooms. I'll explain after the broadcast.
Landslide breaks free, and it's heading straight for you. In this situation, the back of a truck offered a quick getaway as a wall of mud barrels down the road. But what if you didn't have a vehicle? What if you were on foot? What would you do to survive this horrific landslide? Would you A, sprint to the side to get out of its way? B, grab hold of a tree or large rock to protect you from the slide? Or C, run downhill as fast as you can? Landslides can be devastating and tragic. So what are these monumental forces of nature?
Landslide is the movement of earth and soil and debris downslope.
We now have our 6th named storm in the Atlantic for the Atlantic hurricane season. I'm meteorologist Nick Walker with a tropical update. As of the 11 p.m. advisory, the National Hurricane Center has Tropical Storm Franklin, the center of it 100 miles north of the Nicaragua-Honduras border. Winds of 40 miles per hour in the center, a central pressure of 106 millibars, moving toward the west-northwest at 13 miles per hour. This was an area of disturbed weather this time last night and just really blossomed and developed all day long today up to tropical storm strength. On this west-northwest trajectory, it's expected to move toward the Nicaragua coast, make that the Mexican coast, the Yucatan Peninsula, as we head on into Monday evening, gaining some strength as it goes up to around 60 miles per hour. Then moving over the area there into the Bay of Campeche and then making a second landfall in Mexico long about sometime on Thursday. This is forecast not to reach hurricane strength, but a very strong tropical storm strength of around 70 miles per hour. Now, we do have warnings, tropical storm warnings here for the coast of the Yucatan from Campeche all the way to Cancun and down to the border of Belize. From Belize, that border, southward to Belize City, tropical storm watches are up. So, within the next 24 hours or so, we can anticipate seeing tropical storm force winds of 39 miles per hour or greater, heavy rainfall moving across this area of at least 3 to 6 inches, and there could be pockets where we could get up to a foot of rain from Tropical Storm Franklin. And then, of course, moving back out over open water once again, and then gaining strength as we head into the midweek. This, right now, does not appear to be any threat to the United States. But we'll continue to watch this closely here, and you keep tuning back into the Weather Channel as we get into tomorrow's programming for updates on Tropical Storm Franklin. For now, back to your program. I'm Nick Walker with the Weather Channel.
What about running downhill? Could that save you?
If you try to proceed downhill, many times you're going to find out that the mudslide or landslide will travel much faster than you can downhill, and it's going to wind up catching you from behind.
Running downhill is a very bad idea. You're going to be buried in and carried along with debris.
Debris flows have been recorded moving over 35 miles an hour, far faster than a human can run. That's why spotting them early is so important.
Be aware of your surroundings. If you feel an earthquake coming on and you're out in the wilderness area, recognize that areas higher around you might have a landslide.
Heavy rain isn't always a reliable indicator because a landslide could break free days after the rain has stopped. But there are other things to look for.
Oftentimes, landslides will give early warning signs that they're about to happen. They can be as simple as a crack in your foundation or a big crack in your sidewalk or driveway. When they start, landslides make an incredible amount of noise. You'll hear trees popping and cracking and boulders rolling and rushing. This is the time to evacuate.
Know the warning signs. And if you do find yourself downhill, and don't stop.
Hello, everybody. It is 10 p.m. Central Time on August 6th, 2017. It is Sunday going into Monday internationally, so I hope you had a good weekend. And welcome into the Earthquake 3D live stream, where we daily recap seismic events from around the planet and issue semi-daily and weekly earthquake forecasts for new areas to watch for movement. So, again, if you're new here, we do this on a daily basis. We issue semi-daily and weekly forecasts. So don't be shocked when I talk about areas that are hit versus the areas that are missed. We're talking about the forecasts that are issued for this channel. We're going to be issuing some new forecasts tonight, and several of the areas we named this past week have been hit, save just 2. And we talked about that last night. Here we are today, and we have a new round of activity to bring up. So let me get my little screen here shrunk a little bit, because you're not here to look at me. Although, I admit it's a beautiful sight, right? Absolutely. So what happened since yesterday? Well, yesterday we saw an increase in activity in the West Pacific. Today, there's been a complete silencing off of activity in the past 24 hours in the West Pacific. No new 4.0 or 5.0 earthquakes to report to you at all. So it's going to be a short update tonight for what happened in the West Pacific, but I've got a long update for what to expect. But we do have new activity that's developing in the Southwest Pacific, far South Pacific, going into the Indian Ocean. Take a look at it. In the last day and a half, all the activity centers around Australia, going around Australia down into the South Indian Ocean. 4.7 on one side, 4.6 on the other, 5.8. Here we are again. Sure seems like 5.8 is the number of the week. However, if you check the stations, you'll see it goes all the way up into the mid-range 6. Oh, another 5.8 that really is a 6. That's really interesting since we talked about that yesterday with the other 5.8s. Look what else happened today. A new 4.1 striking in between Indonesia and Australia. And that's a big change. We don't normally see activity there, but this is on the extreme edge of the Australian plate. Take a look at it. It's on the coastal plain where it meets up. Back, I don't even know what the other name of the plate is there. I suppose it's the Indian plate or the maybe Indonesian. I don't know the name of it. So there we go, where the 4.1 is, directly in between the two previous earthquakes. 5.1 on one side, 5.0 on the other, basically, and in the middle of 4. Within a point of each other on either side and a 4 in the middle. So the exact middle fulcrum point between the two previous earthquakes has been hit on the Australian craton edge. That's interesting, right? I mean, to see that happen. Oh, also, how about that other 5.8 yesterday? They downgraded it now again to a 5.7. Forgot to mention that. So we had a new deep earthquake pop off on our letter D. That's right here where our 4.3 is. And that fulfills the forecast for looking for new deep earthquakes to develop. Okay. Oh, new 4.0. No. Okay. So again, check it out. Deep earthquake struck over here on our letter D, exactly as forecast. We told everybody it had been 3 days since any new deep earthquakes. And we had to watch. We didn't know whether or not that was going to develop for certain. And now, again, that's confirmed. There's a 573 kilometer deep event. It was followed by a 5.0 that they downgraded, 5.1 actually, and they downgraded it by a half magnitude down to 4.6. It was on the feeds as 5.1 for a long time. We made a report on it, and then magically, within an hour, or not even an hour, of us talking about it online, all of a sudden it's downgraded by a half magnitude. Well, there you go. A 5.0 striking next to the deep 4.3 to the east again. This is like the third time that's happened this past week, which means pressure is transferring out to the east. See this deep earthquake? I'm going to turn on a function here. Okay, again, the deep earthquake is raised high off the globe so you can see it easily. But I'm going to turn on a shell function that shows a dome of pressure that comes out from the earthquake. I want you to imagine this shell around the earthquake like it's a bubble coming up from down below the plate. And the better way to look at this is three-dimensionally. So looking through the planet down into it, you can see that it's like a ball, okay? So that's a sphere. And I want you to imagine that sphere of pressure, that cone of pressure, coming up from down below and pushing up on the underside of the plate. Where the perimeters of this is there should be earthquake activity developing out on each plate boundary. So look where it goes over to the west. See, it goes over into the Solomon Islands and near New Caledonia. See where it goes to the south? It goes down to the Kermadec Islands. See where it goes over to the east? It meets up with the back end of both of our red arrows. So all three areas are going to be excited in the next few days based upon this new deep 4.3. So the new deep 4.3 will cause a shallow 5.3 or 6.3, somewhere between 5.3 and 6.3. Over to the west, down to the south, it should cause a 5.3 in the Kermadecs and a new 4.0 earthquake at central New Zealand. Additionally, all the way over to the east, where both of our big arrows point, we have to watch for new activity to impact in the next couple days. So that means new activity up at the Ecuador-Colombia border and new activity down in South Chile along the coast. Now, how much time do we have to watch for that? Just 2 to 3 days. Not that long, guys. So it already happened today, which means within the next 2 days to 3 days, we will see this impact occur in South America. How big is it going to go? Probably 1 magnitude larger than the deep earthquake all the way over here. So as the pressure is coming up and across the Pacific, it will then impact South America like a wall. And where the arrows point to, that's where we'll see the release. So we have to put it to about a 5.3 to the north and about a 5.3 to the south. Additionally, as those both impact, there'll be a new 5.3 in the middle as well. So it's just going to happen. It happens again and again and again. This is not anything abnormal. This is a normal pattern that is followed that, again, should happen in the next couple of days. Now, speaking of happening in the next couple of days, let's go all the way over to Europe and take a look. Look what happened today and look what happened yesterday. So a day and a half ago, we had our 4.0 that struck down at the Isle of Lesbos. Since then, going across Macedonia, right at Ohrid, struck with a 2.2. And then going up across Italy, get a load of this. Look at Italy today, guys. Do you notice anything? Okay, I mean, just the answer is Central Italy. Check it off. Also, you can check off Macedonia, which was hit by a magnitude less than expected. It's an earthquake forecast miss for me in Macedonia. So Macedonia, we were looking for up to a 4. It hasn't hit yet. I'm not going to cancel the warning. I'm going to take it down to a watch for a day. So let's watch in Macedonia just in case. Because Central Italy got hit with the 3 in a swarm instead of a 4, maybe that's what we should watch for in Macedonia, which is a 3 in a swarm instead of a 4. Most of the pressure went up and around, went out and impacted into the UK. Up here in North UK, in Scotland got hit. Sean Connery does not like that. They don't like you talking about the earthquakes up there either. And I got a guy leaving messages on my thing saying, oh, we get hit all the time. England gets hit all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? England gets hit all the time. You guys hardly ever get any noteworthy activity up there. I talk to downplay an earthquake. That's funny. So over here, let's get into the United States. Let's talk about this. Get a load of this, guys. 4.1 earthquake struck right across the border of Arizona, right here, and USGS is not reporting the earthquake as far as I can tell. Now, we went and looked it up. It's in a mountain range. It's about 40 miles away from anything of any noteworthy significance, and the nearest thing nearby, 40 miles away, is a giant copper mine. But it's not related to the copper mine. This is many kilometers down below in the crust. Now, the copper mine, copper is a byproduct of volcanism. You find copper in next to volcanic locations, ancient volcanic locations, many copper mines down here. And again, you find other precious metals too at these volcanic locations. So we have a 4.1 strike in there. It's reported by the EMSC. Let me open up a display capture so you can see what I see. And here we go. So Sonora, Mexico, 24 kilometers deep. Now I'd like to quickly jump over to earthquake.usgs.gov and see if they've got it. I mean, they should have it. It's within a few miles of the U.S. border, and people would be interested to know if an earthquake of 4.0 size was striking right south of Arizona. I mean, it could cause other earthquake activity nearby. Look, they're reporting to you a 4 down here in middle of nowhere, a 4 down here in 4.5 down in Venezuela, a 4.0 down in Chile, all the way down here. This is all today. I mean, look, a 4 up here, a 3 up here in the middle of Yukon territory. They don't mind reporting that one to you. They don't mind reporting to you a 4.8 in Indonesia or a 4.9 in Australia. So they'd have you think, seriously, they would have you think that there was only 19 events today. Even though they're reporting international event, look, they even got a 4.7 all the way on the southwest Indian Ridge. But somehow they're missing the 4.0 on the U.S. border. Why? But why? Well, you know why. They don't want people to look downstream from this. Guess what's going to happen here very soon? Now that a 4 has struck in Mexico, that's going to put pressure on the southern portion of the craton. So be prepared for the southern portion of the craton to light up with new earthquakes. That includes Texas. This should also include the southern states of maybe even possibly Mississippi. Maybe even Mississippi. Not every day we talk about, I'm not saying it's 100% on Mississippi. I'm just saying the pressure is coming in from the southwest, and it's going to be pushing across the fracking operations. Over in Alabama, you've got a huge oil pumping operation, or a series of them going across the state. That makes it vulnerable, plus the edge of the plate, the edge of the craton. So a 4.1 is kind of standing out there. Now check this out. Last night, a 2.9 and a 2.9 struck at the fracking operations of Kansas and southern Colorado. Same-sized earthquakes, 2.9, 2.9, within an hour of each other. So they're related, those two 2.9s. But then today, look what else happened. A new 2.9, now downgraded to 2.8. Another 2.9. So really, we have 3 2.9s, all in the last day and a half, all at fracking operations in the Midwest. Anybody shocked? I'm not. It's shocked. You shouldn't be shocked. Pressure's coming across the edge of the plate. Humans have drilled in here by thousands of points and created perforations in the edge. And that then allows for the pressure to escape on those perforations. There's thousands of frac ops down here in southern Colorado. Same with over here in Oklahoma and Kansas. And they are vulnerable. Not because of anything they're doing wrong, It's because pressure is transferring across the plate, and they were given bad advice by their geologist, who said pressure doesn't transfer across the edge of the plate, and that a 3 or a 4.0 on the West Coast can't cause a 3 or a 4.0 in the Midwest. Well, they were wrong, weren't they? Big time. And now here we are, and we have to live with the consequences of being wrong and denying what's happening. Now, the reason professionals are denying what's happening is there's, well, about 100 or so years of incorrect science built upon this. So it's like a house of cards built upon something seismologically unstable. It's like unreinforced masonry skyscraper built on top of the San Andreas Fault. I mean, what more can you say? You can be smart or you can be stupid. They decided to be stupid and deny that pressure transfers to maintain a outdated series of theories that are dogmas, not rules, not science, not anything that's observed. So we could go into a long lecture about what they're getting wrong, but I don't have time for that. So just to understand, they are denying the things that I'm telling you. They're denying that earthquakes progress across the edge of the plate. They say I just got lucky over and over again every week. That's their best explanation. The biggest professional from the Northwest who runs a seismic network, ran a seismic network till last year up here called the PNSN, the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. Many of you may know about it up in the Northwest. Well, their director, he's a geophysics medal winner, absolutely just despises me, okay? And he came to my pages to deny that earthquake could be forecast. And I asked him to explain how I could be getting these areas down to the point and the date and the time and the location and the magnitude. And he said I was getting lucky, like throwing darts at a board. So I posted a graphic of a guy wearing a blindfold throwing a dart at a board, because that's really what it would be. It wouldn't just be throwing darts at a board. It would be doing it blindfolded, because I'm not a professional. And I don't know anything about geology other than what I've learned myself. Never taken any classes, never had anybody instruct me. Only read what I've read, and that's it. So, again, there we go. Okay, so that's the story behind it. But now look at the United States small earthquakes for today. So, professionals, again, are denying that pressure is transferring across the plate. Meanwhile, we're able to look at this and know that pressure is transferring across right now. Look at the 3 sets of swarms. See these 3 sets of swarms? There's a relation between all of these earthquakes going down the coast. They're all related to one another, and there's a reason why they're striking right now. We'll start up here to the far north. Now, guys, I have to give you a little tip. Whenever you see an earthquake striking up here in northwest Nevada, specifically in this location, it's a sign of a coming earthquake off the coast, here from Oregon and California going up into Washington, but usually down here at the southern end. So whenever we see this area, it's called Bittner Butte and Blowout Mountain. And now the USGS lists it at 71 kilometers east-southeast of Lakeview, Oregon, but technically it's in Nevada, and they're not showing you what's at the location, and they're not mentioning that there's a volcano there. I don't know why they do this. Yesterday, we had a swarm inside of the crater of Mount St. Helens, and it said 36 kilometers northwest or north-southeast of Washington or something. You'd think they would want their own scientists and their own people that are subscribed to get the information instead of having to come to me. Think about it. If you're a person that's normally used to getting your information from the USGS, you actually have to come to a guy like Dutch Sense to find out it's happening next to a volcano. Like, here's Bittner Butte. That's a lava flow. This is an ancient tuft on top. This is a lava flow, and it goes over to the east. There's others to the east. Here's an exposed fissure with black obsidian exposed on the hillside, and Blowout Mountain's right next to here. So here's Blowout Mountain, and it's more of the same. It, of course, blew out in the past, and it's got a large crater associated with that. And then we go over to the west. We have more Painted Butte, Black Hills, Black Buttes, Bear Buttes, all part of an ancient volcanic field. And whenever we start to see earthquakes here, it's a sign that there's pressure building off the coast. But we do have to go look up a few of these other events. There's a few other earthquakes that have struck today that, again, we should probably check out. So let's go look up this 1.4. Oh, well, I'll be. Another explosion.
What?
Interesting. Seems like whenever we see anything reported out of Oregon, it's an explosion. Let's go see what's at the location. Maybe there's a quarry there. Probably is. Hope there is. All right. We got to... What? Hold on. You know how big that explosion would have to be to cause that? That would have to be a huge blast. Okay, all right. Well, all right. It is what it is. Got it listed as a quarry explosion. Another one. Oh, look, another one. Wow. It's almost like all the earthquakes that strike in Oregon are explosions. Let's go look this one up. This is getting a little fishy. But inquiring minds want to know. Let's go see what's going on. Quarry blast there, huh? Yeah, that looks like a quarry. Yeah. You guys see a quarry nearby? Yeah, there's your quarry. Quarry blast right here. Old Jeb's out there, out back at the shed. He got some stick of dynamite. Gonna go find some oil. All right. Where are you? Could say it's right next to Mount Hood, and it's an explosion of steam coming out of the ground. But no, that could never happen. All right, let's go over to the east and take a look. Oh, we do have an earthquake. We do. East of Mount Hood Village. Well, that's related. Here, let's go look this one up. We got a Seoul earthquake being reported here. Oh, it's right on Mount Hood. Can't hide that one. There we go. Right on Mount Hood volcano. Okay, let's go to the north. Let's check out these. 12 kilometers north-northwest of Carson, Washington. I don't know if anything's there. There might not be anything there. I haven't looked this one up. Real-time lookups on all these guys. All right, let's just see what's there. Middle Butte. It's an unmarked volcano. Is that what that is? Lava Butte. Unmarked volcanoes. Bear Mountain. Oh, look at this. Indian Heaven. We're right next to Indian Heaven. Okay. The Pleistocene to Holocene Indian Heaven volcanic field, located midway between St. Helens and Adams, is an area of low overlapping shield volcanoes with flank vents primarily oriented along a north-south line. Small shield volcanoes topped by cinder and spatter cones dominate the volcanic field, which also contains subglacial vents. The shield volcanoes extend from Sawtooth Mountain on the north to Red Mountain on the south. The high point of the field is 1,806 meters high. Interesting. Okay, so right in between, we got Middle Butte and Lava Butte. And the others? I mean, that's close enough. So we've got Lava Butte right next to it. We also have some cones out here covered in trees. Look at that. That's pretty interesting. Several out here. Where's the other lava flow? Here's West Crater. West Crater, this is a lava flow as well. Coming off of an ancient butte. You see the sill, it's covered in trees. It goes right back there. That's where it erupted from. Right here. You don't, I mean, again, you wouldn't really, like if you're looking from above, you have to look real close to see